Okay, welcome everybody. Let me go ahead and pull up. I'm going to just share my screen, but for those just joining, we are just asking you to put in the chat your industry, how long you've been in business, and then any marketing questions or a little bit about what you want to get out of today. Our topic is marketing for the future. Very general. We want to kind of understand what direction you want to take this in. It's also helpful. We're just guiding the facilitation or guiding the conversation today amongst you guys. So want to know, what you want to get out of so that we can help make sure that you do that. While we're putting that in, let me go ahead and just start sharing my screen. And, oh, Linda, can you make me co-host?
Whoopsie, of course I can.
Perfect.
Sorry, that darn default.
I know, right?
There you go.
Okay.
That should do it.
Okay, wonderful. Can everybody see my screen? Cool. So this is our last and final guided conversation together. This has been so much fun. Thank you to Linda to helping us try something new and do something a little bit out of the box. This was kind of the third tier topic that you guys wanted to cover, marketing for the future. So we're really excited to bring it to you. If you're not familiar with me, I think I know all of you, but I'm Stephanie Gary, Director of Partnerships, managing our wonderful partnership with NABO, which we are so blessed to be a part of. We are the education partner, so always trying to find creative ways that we can bring our tools and resources and learning and experts to the NABO members. And I am joined here today by somebody new. You guys have probably not seen her before, but her name is Amy Jones. She is one of our fantastic advisors. Amy, if you want to come and just give a quick intro, a little bit about your background.
Absolutely. So I started originally in the restaurant industry and was the youngest promoted manager for Pizza Hut. Promoted up through there, ran 13 different restaurants from breakdown to highest profitability, and took that knowledge and experience, trained a bunch of new managers, rewrote their training program, shifted into real estate. I flipped over 1,000 properties, have some buy and holds, and I'm now with Cultivate to help other people figure out how to really get into the foundation of their business so that we scale faster, easier, and get to that time freedom and that money freedom we're all looking for when we start.
Yep. Amy has taken Cultivate by storm. She has incredible clients that just can't say enough good things about her. So super excited to have her here with us today. If you haven't been here, we love to keep this open. This is not a webinar. This is our conversation. So please come off mute, ask questions, be mindful of others. We want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to talk. And then obviously, if you want to go deeper on any of this, we are here to support you in that. With all that being said, I will kind of kick it over here to Amy. She thought this was a good quote to kind of get us started on. But then we're just going to head into the questions that I had emailed out just to start getting some conversation. We can pull from the chat to hear where you guys are at. But Amy, if you want to read this aloud for everybody, and then we'll jump into the questions.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter how good you are if nobody knows. And I have a little bit of background story on this one, Steph.
Please.
So this quote is by Jeff Crandall, who is my dad.
No, I was trying to search for it. I couldn't find it.
And the reason this was so profound for me was because a long time ago, he said, if you don't learn marketing, it doesn't matter how good you are at everything else. And his example was, how successful was the pet rock? And I was like, really successful? He goes, Amy, it was a rock. He goes, the rock wasn't successful, the marketing was. So regardless of what you do in life, make sure you know how to get your message across so that others can receive it. So that's where this quote really came in. And this is the quote that put all of my motivation towards learning how to market.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
So I'm ready to share it with you guys because it was profound for me.
That's fantastic. I was honestly, I Googled it and I was like, there's got to be like a pretty background or something. And I was like, oh, I can't find this quote. I feel like I had heard it before, but okay. So next up, we will just jump over to the questions. I just wanted to put these on the screen, but Amy, if you and I want to go through the chat and just kind of pull from who's here, what they want to talk about, any of these questions that are popping out to you guys. I don't know, did anybody have time to read any of the articles I shared? Or did anything pop out to them? And if not, that's totally fine. I didn't. Well, you guys were probably all on your retreat and coming back and trying to get back into the swing of things now that I'm realizing it. So that would make sense. Well, just kind of looking at these, questions to think about. What is the purpose of marketing? The benefit of measuring marketing results. I mean, does anybody want to come off chat or come off mute just to get us started and just kind of tell us where they're at with their current marketing? Maybe what they are considering, what's working, what's not working. That might be a good one to just kind of kick us off. If anybody wants to get us started.
I just hired a social media person. It's been a number of years since I've done that, but it's definitely time. And I have noticed, a little troubling trend in my revenue. It's dipped this year, and I don't know if it's because of the state of the economy, worries about inflation and about the whole money thing. With high-end clients, they have money because they're careful with it, or whether it's because I have sort of become less visible. So, I'm really just, I'm really trying to go full bore now with social media engagement, all the things that I really need to be doing. It's hard to keep all the plates in the air, all of us agree to that when we have our own businesses. There's so many things to do. And I just hired someone who happens to be it, besides what she does for the company. She also is experienced in social media. So it was a perfect two for a hire. So anyway, that's where I am. So I'll mute myself again.
Appreciate that, Camilla.
Camilla, I have a question. You said your high-end luxury clients. What is your typical client?
I don't know if they're high-end luxury clients, but my service is pretty expensive, and so I'm a dog trainer with a fancy place. So and so a typical client is probably in their 30s, 40s, 50s, comfortable working professionals that want a dog and haven't got a clue how to manage it. It's just driving them nuts. And it's families, and it's professionals who are busy, and they say, here, take this dog, make him wonderful, and here's my money. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like everybody, just based on the chat, and Jeanette, I know you just joined us. We just had everybody put in the chat kind of what industry they're in, how many years they've been in business, and then what they are looking for to get out of this session today, just so we know the direction to take it. And it looks like some people are looking for some creative ways to use social media, and then others want best practices for digital marketing. So I guess, Deb, if you don't mind coming off, I know that you've been in business. Do you have a marketing team? Do you have marketing that has worked, that hasn't worked? Can we use you as kind of a kickoff as well?
And marketing just can be so subjective. So yes, the answer is we have a marketing lady by the name of Tanya. She's been with us now on a 1099 retainer basis, and she typically writes all of our blogs, content, our customer success stories, and manages the content on our website. And more recently, within the last year, we really wanted to penetrate the supplier diversity space. As you all know on the call, most likely we're a certified WBE and C. and pretty heavily involved in that network. And so we engaged with a lady that retired from one of the company's motion industries that we were pursuing. She has 3 clients, and we're one of them. And she does all of my LinkedIn social content management. And also we have a campaign to connect with supplier diversity folks through LinkedIn. And then we have all of the analytics that we are currently tracking. So that's on my televergence, my tech side, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have an independent company on my hospitality side of the business, which is vacation rental and corporate retreats. And we actually hired a company called Experience Expert, and they are known for marketing in the hospitality space. And so they've done some things for us on content with LinkedIn. They redid our website. They're writing our blogs for us. And we primarily have the most success with the hospitality side through our Facebook page, not as much, although it's corporate retreats. We don't tend to have as much through LinkedIn at this point. But we do get statistics. We try to optimize with, SEO words, etc. And I can tell you one true live customer that we've actually gotten as a result of all of these efforts. It's somebody just kind of by happenstance I was connected to on Facebook, and I would periodically, put posts. And I had worked with him over 30 years ago. He was one of our vendors. He was at a new company wanting to find a new partner, and we ended up partnering with them through just that, him watching us on social. And it's about a $200,000 a year contract at this point to start.
Wow. So even when you think it's not working, it's working.
I think so. I mean, that's one example that we can point to. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of effort that goes into it and cost. But the other thing I found that's been extremely helpful is serving on various committees within the organizations that I belong to, and then posting content specific to that, especially where you're helping other folks and you're not expecting anything in return. So that's giving us some really good branding and visibility using those 2 social platforms, and gaining a lot of interest. So when I do attempt to have a discovery call with a potential client, there is some name recognition, and it's not simply going in cold, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we're leveraging all of the contacts within LinkedIn, because you can see if folks haven't blocked it. So I'll see who somebody's connected to and reach out if I need a warm introduction, or vice versa. I'll invite other folks to look at my network and see if there's anybody that they've been trying to connect with that maybe I've got a relationship with. And so I'll typically make that introduction for them as well. So we're trying to work a little smarter, not harder at this point, but those are just some of the basic things we're doing. I have no idea if it's best practices. Some of it's trial and error, and I'm all ears. I'd love to learn more here on the call today.
Love it. I appreciate that. Sounds like you've tried a little bit. I love to hear how still hands-on you are with it. Doesn't matter, how big you get or what's going on. And I know that this is for a lot of our clients during COVID and pandemic. One of the first things they cut was marketing, and all our marketing agents clients were like, please tell your clients not to cut marketing. You don't want to.
We actually beefed ours up and took the opportunity to put some of the budget dollars there, and cut from some other areas, because it is so important to, like you said, if you do something well and nobody knows about it, then how are you going to grow your business?
Right.
It's a good time to beef up marketing, where a lot of companies are cutting back. You get more exposure and better bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the other key is, really tracking it and doing follow-up when you're getting engagement. If you're getting comments, you're getting profile views. We're putting together a plan to be very intentional about, really working it. We're kind of doing it haphazard now. We just need to really be intentional about it, because we're in an extremely competitive environment, and especially with the macroeconomy issues that we're dealing with right now. It's challenging.
I think intentionality and measurement, you got to be intentional about what you're putting out there, but then you
Right.
also have to measure what's working, what's not. And
Right.
constantly, it's something that constantly needs to be tweaked and kind of monitored for sure. Does anybody, Michelle, does that give you some ideas? I know you had mentioned that you were looking for ways to target CIOs, and my first thought there is obviously doing a LinkedIn campaign. Have you tried that or?
Yeah, excuse me, sorry, my voice went out. Yeah, what I was actually trying to understand too is if there are any new social trends where CIOs, where you're seeing results, where CIOs are actually paying attention to a LinkedIn or any other social media type format. Because one of the things that CIOs struggle with is they are bombarded, and they're bombarded with tons of emails and LinkedIn requests and all of these things of other than what is, everyone has LinkedIn, but other than that, what other social media, and that's what I was hoping you would share with us today, steps us outside of that, taking us away from that herd of 1,000 people always hitting these folks up. And if there was anything that, this is the new thing that everyone did and it's really working well. So that's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
What is your goal in the connection with the CIOs?
So we're a network, we're a technology company. So we do cybersecurity, networking, infrastructure. We also do risk management, cyber risk assessments, things of that sort. So it's to meet them, talk about where they are, whether it's an infrastructure upgrade or with everyone being remote, a consolidation activity, because a lot of companies right aren't in that process. They're just kind of letting everything sit. And then also talking to them about some of the new regulatory requirements on different corporations and different technologies around cyber security. There's more and more coming up now where you have to, as a corporation, show you've done your cyber due diligence, whether it be risk assessments, NIST assessments, things of that sort. So it's getting that introduction and getting their attention out. And I'm, again, looking for something that's possibly new that hasn't been done and that everybody else isn't doing. That's all. That's what I'm looking at.
Big
Good.
ask. We'll do our best. Anyone else have any specific things going on in their marketing that they want to bring to the table, or that they're hearing, or that they've learned from, that can connect to either what Deb said or what Michelle said? Jeanette, do you have anything? No.
So I'll tell you a little bit about us. We're
Yeah.
different, I think, in that we have a pretty specific target market. So marketing to us doesn't look like trying to market to the masses. Like that's something that we absolutely we don't want to do. So we've had just a lot of organic growth, and it's really been just word of mouth and referral marketing up to this point. And it's like the 2 to 20 million space is where we're trying to be.
Mhm.
So creative ways of how to do that, I guess, other than the regular word of mouth marketing, is what I would be interested in if you're just really, really targeted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much digital, but maybe creative, like in-person events or.
Which we do. We do, we used to do maybe bigger events that were once a year, and they were for people that referred. So it wasn't a client appreciation event necessarily. It was what we call a client advocate event. So we were trying to just bring the clients that were big advocates for us together and create a special event for them. And then now we're actually trying to go even smaller and create like private dinners, groups that they have something in common, and make it a really high end and special experience. So, just ways to spend time with them that are not salesy. We're not talking about anything financial. We're just trying to get to know them better is the approach that we're using. So I don't know if there's other tips or techniques. I always love hearing from people that work for really large corporations because they have the best ideas, and then trying to tweak them down into how small business could do it. So I'm interested to hear what Amy has to say.
On architecture and engineering, what space do you specialize in?
She's actually, that was,
Financial planning,
yeah.
Oh, that's
Carol
Carol.
Sanders.
Crystal, what are you in?
financial planning.
Ooh, okay, cool. My dad used to be a financial planner, so that quote,
That's
Directly.
awesome. Yes. Thanks.
okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. Kathy, you want to chime in at all? I know you kind of just joined us. Hi.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the question is, so I
Okay.
should listen at first.
No, that's okay. We're just kind of taking a pulse on everybody. We had people put in the chat kind of their industry, how long they've been in business and what they want to get out of it. Really just trying to see how we can connect the dots with who's on the call, where you're at with your marketing, what
Mhm.
you're looking for extra support on, and then see how we can bring some value to you.
Okay, well, first of all, I took my hair out of the pony just now, so I just keep doing this over and over again. We just finished about 5 minutes ago, although everyone's still here at the table, but our semi-annual strategic retreat, and we have really, really aggressive growth goals. We're still trying to double this year. So we're giving it a go. And part of that, of course, is marketing, both to support cross-sell, upsell. That happens mostly elsewhere in the organization, but marketing communications helps happen. And then definitely, of course, lead gen, which is really largely in the hands of marketing communications to make that happen. So, well, and, pulling through other resources on the team to execute their plans and strategies. So that's where we're at.
You
If
have
I understood the question.
do you have a marketing team or
Person. That's
everybody?
her right there. Wave,
There you
Laura.
go. Hi.
She's responsible for marketing and communications.
Okay. Cool. I appreciate it. Amy, it sounds like we've got everybody across the board here on this call. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And Amy, is there any direction that you feel like you could pull from based on what we talked about?
I have a couple of things. So I have some ideas I'd like to share for some specific businesses, and you can pull those across. Now, whenever I share any ideas, I say it's like a t-shirt. Try it on. If it doesn't fit, take it off.
Mm-hmm.
If you like it, keep it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to actually go back to the beginning with the dog training. Let's see. So actually, I'm going to save that one because I think that one's a good Chat GPT shift over. Oh. Let's go to Deb, web, LinkedIn. A lot of these things. So here's the one thing that I didn't hear from anybody was anything TikTok related. I did not hear TikTok. Is anybody utilizing TikTok? Okay, so TikTok is actually the highest social media used platform currently. It's bigger than Facebook, bigger than YouTube Reels, everything. It blew everyone out of the water last year. Now, I can give you a couple of basic things to know about TikTok. Number one, you want any videos to be approximately 47 seconds. Say approximately 47 is the sweet spot. But if you add or subtract, if you go to a minute or down to, it's fine. But if you're close to that 47 seconds, it'll make a difference. Number two, if you put anything trending in your background, it will have you get more exposure. So if it's a trending song, you just utilize that as your background audio. The words, adding the words over the video will cause more exposure and more results. And then the last one is there are prompts, and you can Google, good TikTok prompts. Have you ever, did you know anything you want to capture the attention in 3 seconds or less, or they're going to swipe. Now, I would love to say that this is a younger generation tool, but the older generation just takes longer to get into it. I don't know if any of you guys had any delays on Facebook. I did. I completely and utterly resisted. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And then I did it. I'm like, I'm not going to get sucked into Facebook. Yeah, now I'm good at Facebook. Mm-hmm. So TikTok, I was a little less resistant. And I'm like, I'm just going to go learn this because I know that the marketing trend is out there and I just have to understand it and know it. So the brilliant thing about TikTok is that you can do longer videos for YouTube, then you can cut them down into YouTube Reels, Facebook Reels, and TikTok Shorts, or YouTube Shorts and then TikToks. And you can reutilize the same content. One of the things that I do is every Friday, I record for about 45 minutes. And that 45-minute recording turns into a bunch of content across different platforms. And we can chop it up and cut it up really easily. And it's easy. So just some thoughts for consideration. I know that definitely came up on
Does
the
Sorry, I'm just to cut you down. Is
Sure.
anybody thinking like there's no way that TikTok is relevant for my industry? Is anybody like scared about TikTok? I'm not on TikTok. TikTok scares me. I have no idea what it is, but does anybody kind of think, because that's even like, I'm thinking like, are you going to find CIO?
I'm not on TikTok.
You're not on? Is that Molly?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Molly.
Yeah.
For me, I would say that I don't feel scared of the
We're
platforms.
not allowed to
I
use
feel
our
scared.
phones that have access to government email.
Right.
I feel scared of our budget. Like we have really limited resources, so we have to try and be as careful, but not too careful with how we spend our time and resources. So usually I'm trying to use things where people who have started the buying journey at the discovery only, they haven't picked who or what, but they've got a problem, they're already thinking about it. Like for us, that's where we want them. And we want them when they're trying to discover those things, because we just don't have enough money to, inform and educate. Really, not broadly, maybe individual interactions, but not broadly. We just don't have money for air cover. So that's the way we think about it. So something like TikTok, I'm not sure. We've had conversations on it. I mean, it could be culture, brand building. What's that? Yeah, and we claimed a page for it, I guess. But we're not, our very limited resources. We have not so much been doing that. YouTube, also similar issue. YouTube, we can't control the brand. We can't control the ads up front and that cost effectively. So we haven't really gone that route. We're looking at other video engines for that type of thing. But I don't know, that's us.
Are there any, because I mean, when we talk about like reaching out to CIOs, right? Are there any statistics that say that from a technology standpoint, it's effective? Because again, if I'm a CIO and I'm going out to TikTok, I'm not going out there looking for business. I'm going out there for my personal time. And the last thing I want to see or hear is more business, more advertising, more of that. That's my impression of TikTok and Facebook and that type of social media, but I could be completely wrong. So my question is there any KPIs around, oh yeah, TikTok actually, that is the CIO's thing of choice, and I'm completely out of the loop on that, right? Because I see that as more goods and goods, I'm selling this or I'm selling that, or this diet trend, or gosh knows all the other junk I see out there. So, I'm just curious. I had not thought that it was appropriate and a good use of our funds or time if it's really not an effective platform for a technology company.
Those are all really great questions. I don't have any KPIs, but I am going to dig into that because that's a great question. What I do know is that, full disclosure, I'm in my 40s. I don't go to TikTok to learn things, or at least I didn't a year ago. But I have friends in their 40s and 30s, and they use TikTok as a new Google because they don't read anything. And the younger you get, the more they want very fast, very quick information. They're doing most of their studying on these shorts. It's unbelievable. So in the 30s and even early 40 range, I'm seeing a lot of people are researching on TikTok and Google, or on TikTok, primarily instead of Google, because they don't want to read the articles.
Gotcha.
Well, 47 seconds, Michelle. That's all they got.
47 seconds.
Okay.
It's an attention deficit or attention span deficit disorder for, the younger you get, the more we've trained them that they don't have to pay attention for extended period of time.
right? Okay,
And
that's
they
a good way to think about it. Thank
You
you.
want things delivered to them. So yeah, absolutely. Would it be an access point to have CIOs come find you? Yeah. Give them 47-second snippets on things that are valuable that they would want to know.
I have a question on that, Amy. If you're using it like the Google, I mean, is it reasonable then to put search terms that I'm thinking they would use into TikTok and see if stuff's coming up?
Absolutely.
And only if
Absolutely.
there's a rich environment for it, is it likely that me taking time to add to that rich environment makes sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It absolutely always makes sense to take your piece of the pie. And if you have 0 pieces of that pie, go grab a piece. TikTok is huge, and it's a lot less expensive than you think it is. The expense really comes from the video editing, and you can do a lot of things online now for very inexpensive and very quick.
Yes, I was thinking more my time, that hour a week or 3 hours a week, or I was thinking along those lines, like that
47
time.
seconds.
No. It would take me way more than 47 seconds to get 7 seconds of
Yes.
customer ready content is what I'm thinking. For me, I'm
Well,
not a natural.
even for like before we came in here, we had a list of questions, right? Okay, now I got some. Okay, I got a next thing I'm gonna do. I have the way to show you how to make these videos quickly and not waste your time, because as business owners, we don't have a lot of that.
Everybody's on the edge of their seat, Amy.
I know, I have to write it down. Okay. So that was my thought, Michelle, for yours is how do we get CIOs to come to you versus you hunting for them? And that's by providing some sort of value that they will look at or go and seek. And I think TikTok, and I literally wrote TikTok in parentheses next to your name. For the financial planning, word of mouth and referral, that's going to be a completely different conversation. There are a lot of nurturing campaigns, but the one that I've personally seen that is most effective is having a social media stalker. By that, I mean, when they have a baby, you send something to the house. When somebody's sick, you send a care package. When you're there every step of their way in their life, they will trust you at a whole new level with their wealth, and they will refer you to everybody. So that's something that we've used on those kinds of trends that's just not typical and so far and above outside of the norm, but it's not a big deal, but it's a huge deal to them. So that was my big moment on that one, because events can get really expensive and they're once a year and you want to be in their face constantly. That's the whole goal. Other than, the normal, I'm always available for your referrals and the who do you know who I can make a difference for, and anywhere you can provide value to anybody in their friends and family line. Okay, you guys ready for the real meat and everything that I've been excited for?
Sure.
How many of you guys have played with ChatGPT?
Oh, a little bit.
Okay. Can I share my screen? Is that possible?
I think you can.
Okay, cool. All right. So I would write down this website, chat.openai.com. Not with all the extensions on it, because that's just because I was playing with it earlier. So it's just this right here. Okay. So ChatGPT, for anybody who is currently unaware or afraid of or doesn't want to learn, or if you've heard some of the mumblings but haven't really got into it, today I really just want to open your mind to the possibility of what this software can do and why you should start playing with it now, because if you don't get in on the software, you're going to be behind. So let's see, TikTok, let's go. We'll do CIOs. So the biggest thing with ChatGPT is it's similar to Google. You guys are seeing my ChatGPT screen right here, right?
Yeah. Yep, we got it.
It's similar to Google, where the better the input, the better the output. So I want to start with CIOs. Please, no, I need a new chat. This is one I was playing with earlier. Please write no, let's do it this way. What are the 20 most important questions that Chief Information Officers want answered? We're going to see what happens.
Mhm.
Ah. Oh, look at that. There's a disclaimer. I'm not sure, but if I was sure, here's what it would be. And then I would take these questions, I would read them and go, that makes sense. And then I would record a video answering that question. And then I would release it once a day on an auto structured release so that I don't have to think about it. Personally, I like Buffer. You can use any scheduling software. Literally, if you're spending more than half a day on all of your marketing for the month as the business owner, then I have done you a disservice, because I'd really like to get you down to 4 hours or less for the month. About write a, oh, we need a new.
Are you saying that a business without someone in marketing communications should be able to do their marketing content in 4 hours a month?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's a normal person, or that's someone like you who has skills and knowledge in this industry?
That would be a normal person with an iPhone and a computer. ChatGPT has really shifted everything. Watch this, right?
Oh, you know, I'm familiar with ChatGPT. Yeah. It's just, I mean, wow. It just
As
takes
far
me a while to create content that, you know, is, I don't know. Sorry, I don't mean to talk too much. So.
Oh, no, you're perfect. Write a YouTube script for a 10-minute video on, give me content that you want, Kathy.
Kathy?
I'm sorry. Yes?
Give me content that you want for YouTube.
Well, that would be my first thing, to figure out what content I want.
What outcome would you want?
Well, we're trying to double our revenue. One of our core areas will be helping people move from desktop to QuickBooks Online. Let's do that. QuickBooks Desktop,
Perfect.
QuickBooks Online.
For benefits of
It's like a lot of our vendors supply us all kinds of videos and marketing materials, but none of it's consistent with our culture and our brand and what makes us unique. So it's like taking the knowledge and making it us. Like, why us? That's a lot of the lift for us.
This is going to go for a minute.
Yeah.
Stop generating.
This blows my mind and scares me at the same time.
Above in a 47-second script.
We were playing with this yesterday, and we were doing blog posts as like Colorado realtors, and Amy goes, write the above in a sassy Southern tone. It was like, howdy, y'all. It's fantastic. When you limit the time that it has, or like we did like a limit on 1,000 words for a blog post, you can tell it has to think a little bit more, but it still gives you great options. And Kathy, going back to what you were saying, you know, how I think if you guys need to start out first on what makes you different, then maybe it's like a team meeting of, hey, let's come together and just throw out as many ways that we are different. And then maybe it's like featuring different people on your team, you know, and having them talk about their perspective of their role. Or,
oh, I'm sorry. Like we know who we are, but it's like, let's say we're doing a desktop again. I feel like I don't want to hog the conversation, but okay. Like we're saying desktop to online. Okay. Well, we know who we are. We know what's great about us. What we think we do. What's great. Yay. Trying to embrace the brag thing that doesn't come naturally. And then there's content like this, which is very didactic about that. And then how do we make it us? Like, we want to be unique, because many people could write this into ChatGPT all over the world. My competition is not in the US, it's all over the world, right? So tons of people will ask a question like this of ChatGPT. So then what's going to make ours different? You know, like we use this a lot for like contracts or things that we want very standardized, but things that tend to be more differentiated. For us, that's marketing. It's a lot about why us. That's where I find it more difficult. I don't know. But I have to absorb what you're saying, and I think we can take advantage of it. I don't want to sound like I'm pushing back. That's just what's going through my head.
That's fine. I think the big thing to get is that there's going to be a point where everybody uses ChatGPT, or almost everybody uses ChatGPT.
Most everybody I know is using it today, at least that we are aware of. Yeah.
That's awesome. And a lot of people still aren't aware of it yet. So we're kind of in front of the trend, even though it's widespread and known and it's all over the social media platforms. People aren't really getting what's possible out of it. So maybe you don't use ChatGPT to write your marketing, but maybe you utilize it to get your marketing ideas, like write a 30-day plan.
I loved your list. What are people thinking of? That was a great idea, Jennifer. And we did that for brand names the other day. We were brainstorming brand names, and we used it to help us pop a whole crap load of brand names. I'm looking at Laura, she's laughing at me. But yeah.
You can have it write a 30-day plan, or write a 5-step email funnel process for accounting excitement. You know, it's like having a second brain at your fingertips, and this is the free version. The paid for version is really expensive right now. It's $20 a month. And you get all the upgrades. But here's what a lot of people don't. So I actually have a list, because I'm keeping a running list on my phone and Notepad of the things that I've been able to use ChatGPT to speed up or to improve. So weekly emails, blogs, and I can have you send this list out too, Stephanie. I just want to go over it, and then I can send it over. This was in a real estate space. We used it for property descriptions, landing page copy, writing prospecting scripts, rewriting in another language, doing content captions, ads, YouTube video ideas, Insta scripts, for content ideas, long form and short form, adjusting the script, having it write the hook, a call to action, and an intro, embedding doing a blogs, and then embedding a video, which is where you can make it personal. You can embed a video in your blogs, and then add a table of content and keywords. Rewrite current well-performing articles with a different tone, which for any of us who are older feels like plagiarism and sounds wrong, but it's not, and people are doing it. And ChatGPT does it in like 30 seconds. It's crazy. I worked with a client to determine what her tone was, which is where sassy Southern tone came from, by the way. We had to drill into, we wanted to sound like she wrote it. So we wrote this thing, and then we're like, okay, rewrite it in this tone, rewrite it in this tone. And when it came out sassy Southern, I'm like, we found you. And then we tried it on a few more, and now she's going and developing her entire marketing campaign, utilizing ChatGPT at least for the planning process and the thought process. It's not going to do all of it yet. Now, there are ways to take the information from ChatGPT into other AI devices, or other softwares, like you can drop in quotes into Canva, and then you can have those auto post. So there's a lot of ways to utilize what ChatGPT spits out and drop it into other stuff, and really create very professional, quick, inexpensive campaigns. Thoughts, feedback, excitement, scares.
Crystal, does this give you any ideas? Linda, did you want to come off mute?
Yeah, no, that was great. I just uploaded the Apple version of the Chat GPT on my phone just now, so
We've given you all a second brain.
Yeah,
I-
I kind of chuckle because coming out of technology, we get spammed so much with, oh, this will be your perfect bullet. This is going to do this. This will, do everything that you need and make a martini and rub your feet all at the same time, right? So I'm very cynical about stuff like this. And I actually came to this group, our circle group, and said, okay, does anyone actually use this? And is this just another gimmick, right? What is your opinion, Amy, on, I'm getting hit up a lot about using AI with LinkedIn and these services that are available that are going out and scrubbing through LinkedIn and giving you qualified leads. Is that just another gimmick, or is that just something I'm being too cynical about?
With every new advancement, there will be lots of people that utilize that advancement to find a way to market and provide a service. So are there services using AI? Absolutely. There's probably a million of them. So just like anything that you would go purchase, I would say make sure you do your due diligence, do your research, make sure that they have evidence of producing the results that you want, and don't buy their marketing, buy their product.
Gotcha. You
So,
don't have any
some of them do it.
the
Absolutely.
ones that you like or that you're aware of? See, I'd rather have a referral from people I know.
Right now, the only AI that I'm really diving into is this.
Is the
For
chat.
that reason, yes.
Mhm.
Because I want to learn the prompting, I want to learn what's behind it, and I want to know what's in the source code. What people do with it, if I understand the foundation, then I'll understand what they're doing with it. Either A, I can already do it without them because they know how to write the prompt, so I'm not going to pay them to write the right prompt. Or B, I understand what they're doing and I can believe in them. But until that, I'm a very trust but verify kind of person. And with new technology like Facebook, it took me years. With ChatGPT, this is industry disrupting. It's not going away, and it will be bigger than the iPhone. It'll be bigger than the internet coming in. Like, not participating in this entire movement is, I don't understand how we will be able to do that. So
Yeah,
the
I did
more-
see on the news that college students are using it right now to write all their papers, and they're actually finding ways so that they can verify that it's Chat GPT versus
Yeah.
their actual work.
They are. They are. And it will grow and will grow, and it'll grow and will grow, and it'll grow. And it's the same dance we play with everything. Somebody will find a way around it, and then we'll figure out how to stop it. Then they'll find a way around that. But reality, and the reason why I want to bring it to, for me, business owners are the most powerful group in the world. So when we're armed with the thing that's going to shift the world, then we get a say in how it shifts. I don't want the college kids shifting the world. I want the experienced people who know what we're doing and have the wisdom and experience, and have us be on the same playing field as the ones that are using it to write their papers.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's huge. AI is
I'm geeking out going, yes, it's the beginning of Terminator. Sorry.
Yes, yes.
So
Yes.
I just wanted to
Literally thinking that, Michelle, literally. And then
Right.
machines took over and the Terminator was, and we had to get a
Exactly.
Terminator to get rid of the machines. Yeah, I love it.
exactly. We're here.
We're here. It's in our lifetime.
Yeah.
It's in our lifetime. So there's going to be
just a little bit of context really quick, just some thoughts real fast. One is AI became really prevalent in the cybersecurity space some years ago. And so ChatGPT is representative of something that's been broadly used probably in most software you use today, but became visible to consumers because of the product. So that's one thing I just want to say. I think it's more kind of like, the minute your friend next door owns 4 houses, you're probably at the point where it's widely spread, even though you didn't know about it before. You know what I'm saying? So I can think that's kind of one thing. Also, Microsoft, I think their stake, which was over 10 billion, I think, or something at this point in ChatGPT, is somewhere in the 30 to 50% ownership range, expected to be at about 75% when they finish their investment. So significant Microsoft-ishness about that product. And And just other couple quick thoughts is, I know a lot of people already know it, but because AI is so big in cybersecurity, that's why security is such a huge deal. And why, you know, if we want to be scared of something, I think we can be scared of people with ill intent leveraging AI to break through people's defenses and take things. And I heard somebody who's involved in the field who said exactly what you're saying, Amy. Think of ChatGPT as a search engine and word aggregator.
Yes.
You can kind of think of it that way, and then think of yourself as a human who brings a unique creative perspective to the table. Then I think then that you've got like a secret sauce there to really help it be fuel for your business. Just my 2 cents on that.
Those are great 2 cents. I love that.
Any other final thoughts? We've only got a couple minutes left to go. Also, Amy,
Amy,
no, go ahead.
did you have some thoughts on the dog training? I don't want to end this before I hear your thoughts.
You said you wanted to save that one for last, I think.
Did. No, I wanted to save it for the, so the original thoughts that I had on that one, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. So the reason I asked what your customer database was, because I am your ideal customer. I have that dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why would I? And then the first thing, something that I actually listened to this morning, is inside the current economic climate, a lot of the lower end jobs have a higher wage increase, but they have less assets, so they're not feeling the recession.
Right.
So then I go, well, who has money and will pay me to train their dog? And right now it's going to be the lower end marketing, and I don't know how to position you into a space of like, how do you level up your dog? Bring your dog home and have your dog be luxurious, or something along those lines, to start marketing to like really, because those are the people who have the money and are spending it right now. Like, how much is dog training?
Trouble gum.
Well,
I just did
there's a lot of different options, but our flagship, it's, you know, $18.50 a week. And they live in, we train them, then we train the dogs, and then we train the owners. We have lifetime support.
How many
And it's
weeks? And how do I ship my dog to you?
Yeah.
So it was just a thought of like, how do we get to the people who have and are spending money right now? And if you have a program for those people.
That is the program for those people. Right.
Awesome.
So how do I get to them? Sorry, my Roomba's in the background and she's making a lot of noise. Wilma, hush. Fred's upstairs. Wilma's downstairs.
Right. So I guess what I heard when you originally said, it sounded like your typical avatar would be like middle class, upper middle class.
Yes, upper middle class, definitely. Working professionals.
Gotcha. And I'm thinking, how do we get that to lower middle class for the current economy? Or do you have a program that would cater to them right now?
We have everything. Yeah,
And
everything.
how do
All
we-
different levels, all different services. But
Gotcha.
where we make our margins is in the upper level, and that's where we have most of our business. And that's what we're known for. That's our reputation around Northern California.
Gotcha. So that was the moment that I was like, wait, I want to dig into that one a little bit more, just because of where the money is right now in the economy.
So where are you saying the money is? Are you saying I should? I'm a little confused.
Okay, sure. So upper middle class typically has assets that are going down in value, stocks,
Right.
bonds,
Right.
real estate. So they're more cautious in their spending right now.
Yes.
The lower middle class are seeing wage increases and they're not having asset depletion because they have no assets. So the lower middle class right now is spending money on restaurants and travel and vacations, and they're blowing money just like it was 2021. So if they're blowing money, then that's where I'm focusing my marketing right now versus
Gotcha.
trying to tug money away from somebody who's like, nope, I'm scared because so that was kind of my thought process there, is how do we get marketing, at least currently, to the people who are willing to part with their funds?
Gotcha. Okay, well, it gives me some thought on which of my programs to really push. You know,
Awesome.
and those are the ones that are less expensive.
Yeah, and I would only do it during the current economic climate, and then shift back later. So kind of ride the
course.
tide.
Of course. Okay, well, that helps me with a question I had. I was struggling with. I think you're helping me go down the right path. That's good.
Awesome. Very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and honestly, nobody has a better TikTok ready business than somebody in the pet business. Because talk about, I mean, what you can put on video, you can do things that people will stop and watch. I mean,
That's
if
right.
you're scrolling through TikTok and you see a person talking or you see a dog on the screen, which one are you going to click on?
The
Right.
dog.
Every
I'm watching
time.
the dog.
A dog doing something funny, I'm totally watching that before I watch somebody talk at me. Yeah,
Sure.
Absolutely. And you can do before and after to show the results of your training.
Yes.
You can,
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so easy.
Well, this has been so fun. Amy, thank you for joining us,
Absolutely.
teaching us about GPT. Thank you guys, Linda, the Circle Nabo. We really appreciate you guys. Let us know if you like this format. We can go deeper on any of these topics. Amy is happy if you guys have specific questions to open up her calendar for free, just to chat. If you want some more, one-on-one support. But if you like this, maybe we can make it happen again, another guided conversation later this year around different topics. But either way, this has been so fun. Linda, thank you again for helping us set this up.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.